Welcome back to the Short Game Podcast. It is Tuesday, February 10th. Look, the rules just changed. I'm looking at the numbers. They're saying half of all entry-level jobs are getting wiped out by AI in 3 years. Half. That means the career path your parents told you about, it's a ghost story. It doesn't exist anymore. Yesterday we talked about war with Ben Horowitz. But you can't fight a war if you're easily replaced. If you are just another business guy with a laptop, good luck. That is why I brought this book today, The Almanack of Naval Ravikant. This isn't about getting a job. This is about becoming the only person who can do what you do. It's about specific knowledge. I'm 25 years old. I'm building NexYear. And every day I ask myself, am I building a business or am I just building a trap? If you're sitting in a cubicle wondering why it feels fake, this is the exit strategy. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Short Game Podcast by NexYear, where we go beyond gifting. We engineer connections.
I got to be honest with you. I woke up this morning and I grabbed my phone, started scrolling through the news, and I had this very distinct, very unsettling moment where I just thought, are we in a simulation? Like, genuinely, is this real? Because it feels like the writers of reality just cranked the difficulties setting up to legendary while we were all asleep.
It's not a simulation, but I get the vertigo. The ground is absolutely shifting under our feet.
Sure.
But look, instead of spiraling or, wondering if we're all caught in a server somewhere, I see this as a war room session.
Okay, a war room.
We need to look at the board, see where the pieces are actually moving, and figure out a survival strategy. Because if you're just reacting emotionally right now, you've already lost.
Right, put the helmets on. I like that. But see, the reason I'm spiraling, it isn't just general anxiety. It's this specific report I saw.
Okay.
From February 2026, that was fresh off the press, from Dario Amodei.
Yeah.
Now, you know who this is. He's the CEO of Anthropic. He's not some hype man.
No, he's an engineer deep in it.
He's the guy building the brains. And he drops this absolute bomb. He predicts that 50%, half of all entry-level white-collar jobs are going to be deleted by AI.
It's a staggering prediction.
And not in 10 years. By 2027. That is next year.
And you have to understand, Amodei isn't prone to hyperbole. He's looking at the trajectory of the models he is literally building.
Right.
When he says deleted, he means the economic reason for a human to do that role goes to zero.
It's like the Thanos snap.
Wow.
But instead of people, it's just the internships, the junior analysts, the fetch me coffee and fix this Excel sheet crowd, just gone, dust. And my question is, if you delete the bottom of the pyramid, how does the pyramid even stand?
That is exactly the right question. And to understand the answer, you have to look at the cold, hard incentives. This is the uncomfortable part.
Okay.
Why would a company pay a junior employee $60,000 a year, plus benefits, plus the 6 months it takes to train them to do basic data analysis,
Wow.
when an AI agent can do that same work in 4 seconds for, what, fractions of a penny?
That's the part that keeps me up at night. Because, okay, I get the business logic. I do. If I can get a robot to mow my lawn for free, I'm not paying the neighbor's kid $20.
It's just math.
It's just math. But if the first 5 years of the corporate ladder just don't exist, how does anyone climb? You can't just jump to being a vice president. You got to scrub the floors first.
Yeah. And that's how you learn, by being in the room, by osmosis.
Yes.
And this is why we're saying the corporate ladder is officially broken. That deal, you do the grunt work, we pay you a little, you learn, that's over. The grunt work is now an inefficiency.
So for that whole demographic, the, 19 to 27-year-olds, the ladder's been pulled up, the bottom runs are gone.
They are. So the question becomes, how do you survive if the entry-level role is extinct?
Exactly. It's panic time.
Yeah.
But you didn't just come here to doom scroll with me. You brought a survival guide.
I did.
The Almanack of Naval Ravikant. Now, I've heard of naval, kind of the Yoda of Silicon Valley. But how does a philosophy book from a few years ago help us with an AI apocalypse happening next year?
Because Naval saw this fundamental shift in leverage coming a mile away, he might not have known the exact date of GPT-5, but he understood the principles.
Okay.
So this deep dive, it isn't just a book review, it's a toolkit. We're going to use his philosophy to solve this exact problem.
Love it.
And we need to unpack two core concepts: specific knowledge and productizing yourself.
Okay, let's do it. Specific knowledge. Sounds like something you'd need like a security clearance for, or a PhD in rocket surgery. What's he actually mean by that?
His definition is precise, and it is the key to everything. He defines specific knowledge as knowledge that cannot be trained.
Wait, hold on. If it can't be trained, how do you learn it? That sounds like a paradox.
It means it can't be taught in a classroom or in a manual. If society can train you to do something, if there's a textbook for it, a course, a procedure, then eventually society can train a computer to do it. And the computer will do it better and cheaper.
That hits hard. So if you went to school to learn how to color inside the lines or, memorize the tax code, you are in the blast zone.
You are, precisely. If you are a spreadsheet monkey, to use that term, or if your job is just processing standardized info, you're competing directly with an algorithm. You will lose.
So what's the alternative?
Specific knowledge. It's found by pursuing your genuine curiosity, your passion. It's the stuff that feels like play to you, but looks like work to others.
I love that line. Feels like play to you, looks like work to others. It reminds me of, okay, you got to bear with me on this one.
Go for it.
Imagine a raccoon getting into a library. To the librarian, it is a total disaster, chaos. But the raccoon, he is having the time of his life. He's exploring, he's finding weird corners, he's operating on pure weird raccoon instinct. In this economy, we got to be the raccoon.
In a professional sense, yes. You have to lean into your unique obsession. Maybe you're obsessed with the psychology of vintage watch collecting. Or maybe it's the weird intersection of horror movies and corporate law.
Right.
No AI is trained on your specific life experience, your specific taste, your specific weirdness. Naval says no one can compete with you on being you.
So the strategy is be more weird. Be more you. Because ChatGPT can be a generic corporate employee perfectly. It can write the perfect boring email.
Flawlessly.
But it can't be.
Me.
It can't tell a story about a raccoon in a library with any real conviction.
Exactly. That's your economic moat. If you compete on being the best junior accountant, you're competing with millions of humans and every AI model out there. If you compete on being you, the competition is won.
Okay, but, and there's a big but, you can be uniquely terrible at something.
Right.
I could be the world's most unique player of the kazoo, but that's not paying the rent.
And that brings us to the second concept. Productize yourself. It's a formula. Yourself is the unique part, the specific knowledge. Productize is the leverage.
Okay.
You have to take that weird, authentic thing you do and apply leverage to it so it scales.
Escape competition through authenticity. That's the quote, right? That feels like the banner for our times.
Yeah.
But let's make this real. Because specific knowledge and leverage can feel like, buzzwords.
Yeah.
We have a listener case study that I think is perfect for that.
Yes, let's talk about NexYear.
So NexYear wrote in, he's 24, right in that danger zone. And he's building something that seems completely backward. He's running a gifting agency.
It's a fascinating business model. Explain how it works.
Okay, so his whole deal is he helps businesses send high-end physical gifts to open doors with big clients. We're talking about sending a real, actual object in a box to a human being.
Just think about that. In the age of AI, his big idea is shipping physical stuff.
It sounds so old school, like archaic. We've got the internet.
Yeah.
Why are we shipping boxes like it's 1950? But here's the thing, and this is my redneck philosopher take on it. In 2026, receiving a physical object is basically wizardry. It is the dark arts of connection.
Why do you say that?
Because everyone else is lazy. Everyone is using AI agents to spam 5,000 emails an hour. My inbox is a war zone of robots talking to other robots. I don't even see it.
Right.
But if a FedEx guy shows up with a box and inside is, I don't know, a vintage compass, because I mentioned I like sailing once, I am stopping everything. I'm looking at that. I am calling that person.
You just hit the core economic principle, scarcity. Value is driven by scarcity. As AI makes digital content infinite emails, infinite text, the human touch becomes the scarce resource.
It's the luxury good.
It's the luxury good.
It's the new oil. Human touch is the new oil. NexYear isn't selling a logistics service. He's selling the fact that one human being actually thought about another human being for a minute.
An AI can't fake that. Well, it can fake the note, but it can't fake the physical reality of the object.
Exactly.
And that is his specific knowledge. It's not the shipping labels. It's the judgment. Naval talks a lot about judgment being this highly leverageable skill.
Wow, okay.
NexYear's specific knowledge is knowing what to send, how to phrase the note, when to send it to create that emotional impact. That is judgment, and AI struggles with it because it requires real empathy.
So the guy sending vintage compasses is actually safer than the guy coding the website.
Yeah.
That's the irony, right?
It can be. But here's the problem. NexYear wrote in with a dilemma, this tycoon versus creator conflict.
Right.
He wants to be a tycoon, the guy in the back pulling strings, operating a real business, but he feels this massive pressure to be a content creator.
Oh, man. The dancing monkey problem. I feel this in my soul.
Yeah.
There is nothing more soul-crushing than feeling like you have to, debase yourself for the algorithm just to sell a legitimate product.
You got to do a transition video where you change outfits 3 times.
Yes.
Stop.
Naval has a very specific view on this, and it all comes back to leverage. He talks about permissionless leverage, which is code and media.
Permissionless, break that down.
It means no one has to give you permission to use it. For labor leverage, people, someone have to agree to work for you. For capital, someone has to invest.
Right, you need a boss or a bank.
But code and media, you can write software or record a podcast tonight, and it starts working for you while you sleep. It's your army of robots. Code is the robot army on servers. Media is the content army on the internet.
Exactly. Naval says, earn with your mind, not your time. NexYear feels he has to dance because he is confusing media leverage with being an influencer.
Whoa, wait, that's a huge distinction. Say that again.
They are not the same thing. You don't have to be a personality. You don't have to play the vanity game. You use media to document your specific knowledge.
So for NexYear,
he shouldn't be dancing. He should be showing the result of his gifting. Show the deal that closed. Show the unboxing. That is not influencing. That is proof of work.
right, he doesn't need to be the star. The gift is the star. He can stay behind the camera. He can still be the mysterious tycoon, but he uses media to broadcast his competence. That's way more dignified.
And it attracts a different kind of audience. It attracts wealth game players, not status game players. And this is the deepest part of Naval's philosophy we should touch on.
Wealth versus status, yeah.
Naval's warning is, ignore people playing status games. They gain status by attacking people playing wealth creation games.
Okay.
Status is zero-sum. For me to be number 1, you have to be number 2. It's a ranking. It's politics. It's high school. Social media is often a status game.
Totally. It's a cage match.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting. It's like fighting over the best seat on the Titanic.
Wealth, on the other hand, is positive sum. When NexYear sends a gift that connects 2 business people who then do a deal, value is created for everyone.
Everybody wins.
He makes money, they make money. That's the game he needs to stay focused on.
So the advice for the 24-year-old freaking out is, don't get distracted by vanity metrics. Don't try to look successful on Instagram. Actually be useful.
Exactly. Build a bridge, send a gift, solve a problem. Naval says play long-term games with long-term people. AI is a massive short-term shock, yes. But human relationships, trust, judgment, those are the longest games there are. If you build your career on those, AI can't touch you.
It really all circles back to that human touch being the new luxury good. In a world of fake, digital, automated everything, just being a real solid human who keeps their word.
Yeah.
That's the advantage.
And it connects to the very beginning. The corporate ladder is broken. The automated path, the do X, get Y guarantee is gone.
But the elevator's open.
The elevator is open, and that elevator is productizing yourself.
I love that. The ladder is gone, but the elevator is working if you know how to push the button.
And the button is your specific knowledge.
So let's wrap this. For the listener who is staring at that Amadei report and freaking out, the narrative that robots are taking our jobs is true, but it's incomplete.
The robots are taking the generic jobs, the training jobs, but they're creating a massive premium on the specific human.
So don't try to out-robot the robot. You'll lose. You cannot spreadsheet faster than the AI.
Be the human who knows why the spreadsheet exists. Be the human who connects the people reading it.
Be the raccoon in the library. Find the weird thing you love, the thing that feels like play, double down on it, and then use the tools code, media, to scale that weirdness to the world.
Well put. The entry-level job is dead. Long live the entry-level human.
There it is. Short game, long money.
Short game, long money.